Hello and welcome to Super Over Decoded, powered by IDFC FIRST Bank. Well, it's the second game of the series in Manchester. What's at stake? Well, the first game did not happen because of the rain at Chastely. The second game, this is the second out of the 5 of the series, and a lot is at stake, keeping in mind obviously what happened in Ireland. Well, couple of big questions is obviously the new captain, what's going on, what's his path, how is he going to handle this team, how is he going to manage this team. Let's not forget, this is the number 1 team in the world. This is the reigning world champion, back-to-back world champions in this format. So a lot is at stake. The other big question was about the 15-year-old. Is he going to make his debut? What is it going to be like? Or is he going to wait for a little while longer? Well, so there is a lot of things happening, and the crowd, and here in Manchester and in England, obviously in India, there's a lot of craze and anxiousness to see whether Vaibhav Suryavanshi will get an opportunity. Will he make his debut as the youngest male cricketer for India? The same is here in England as well. Everywhere you go, everyone you speak with, the only question they have is, one, how good is the kid? How good is Vaibhav Suryavanshi? And whether he's going to make his debut or not. So for a lot of reasons, this is an important game. And Manchester, let me tell you, the pitch is a very high scoring one. Last summer, England scored 304 here in Old Trafford, here in Manchester against South Africa. They were 304 for 2. So this is a high scoring pitch, even in the domestic games here in Vitality, they call it the Vitality T20. The average score has been 190-200, so that is par, right? So it's a high scoring venue which has a little bit of bounce, but it's a big ground as well. And generally the ground is so big, if it's not in the center, the pitch, then one side is big, the other side can be small. So that plays a part, and it's quite windy. It was overcast, it was windy. So yeah, the game is all set, and it's time for India to start winning under Shreyas Iyer. Let's take a moment to talk about decisiveness. In T20 cricket, even a brief hesitation can change the game. When an opportunity to score comes, go for it. When there's a chance to break momentum, you act without delay. Because timing makes all the difference. And that principle holds true in finance as well. When you need funds, you shouldn't have to wait endlessly for approvals. The process should be quick, clear, and reliable. With First Money Smart Personal Loan by IDFC FIRST Bank, you get disbursals in 10 minutes. Because when the moment demands action, speed makes all the difference. The first innings. India won the toss, elected to bat again like they did in Chastely Street. One change, and that is Vaibhav Suryavanshi. So finally, the 15-year-old has made his debut. He's now the youngest male Indian cricketer. The youngest cricketer is Shefali Verma. She also made her debut when she was 15, but was a little bit younger than Vaibhav. So he becomes the youngest Indian male cricketer to make debut into international cricket. Winning the toss, batting first, it's not a bad option. Keeping in mind this is a high scoring venue, you don't know what's a good score and how much is it to defend. So chasing can get a little difficult, or more importantly, you want to bat first and pile up the score. The pitch, as I mentioned before, it's a good batting pitch. But the other tricky bit was the one side was very small, around 65. The other was very big, around 80-85 meters. Now that's something that the batters would have to keep in mind, and in general players would have to keep in mind. Now India batting first started off all right. Vaibhav came in, hit a couple of six. He looked good, obviously would be very nervous. Playing his first game, making his debut. At the other end, I thought Abhishek continued with his consistency. Even though Vaibhav didn't last long, but he looked good again. So that's one thing we are certain that as far as skill is concerned, he's ready for this format. He's ready for this level. There is absolutely no two ways. We've seen that in the IPL, how good he was, orange cap holder. So he was very good, but obviously didn't carry on, got out to the off spinner. Abhishek continued, again a good innings, didn't get to his 50, but a good innings. But then India had a good start. First 6 overs, the power play, I thought India did really well to go at over 10 runs and over, losing a couple of wickets. Then came the tricky bit. In the middle overs, we saw India kind of slow down in the middle overs a little bit. So again, Shreyas last game was a really important knock, which we've spoken about. Along with Shreyas, First, it was a little bit of a partnership with Abhishek, and then it was Ishan Kishan. Now, Ishan Kishan has run out last couple of innings, but this time around he was a lot more careful with his calling and his running between the wicket. That partnership was crucial, but also what happened in that partnership was momentum did not move further. They still went at 9 runs and over. In fact, when Shreyas got out, India was in a good position. India looked to get to that 200, the pass score that I mentioned, 200, 210, needed a strong finish. Now, the issue there is the reason why they can't go all out in that middle overs is because of the Indian batting depth. If you look at that Indian batting depth, Harshit can hit a long ball, but he is at number 8. Aksar, again, his career strike rate is not the highest. He bats at number 7, but he came out at number 6. So Tilak was very, very crucial because Tilak's batting and the way he got those runs in the last over were very, very crucial, because till the 15th over, India seemed like, or rather 13th, 14th over, India seemed like would reach that 200, 210 mark. But then Shivam Dube got out early. Aksar didn't last long. So, and then suddenly couple of quick wickets and India was struggling to get to 200. In the end, because of that finish from Tilak, India got to 190, which was one more than Chesterley Street. But I thought, end of the first half, India were at least 10 to 15 runs short. I said that, I was on air and I said that as well. I think India were a little short in that, and India were in a good position. But I guess the challenge with this particular combination is that those middle overs becomes very tricky. You can't afford to lose wicket, then you expose the lower middle order a little too early. You don't want Aksar and let's say even Harshit to come in the 16th, 17th over. You want them to come later. So that was an issue, because of which I thought India were a little, even though I thought that the partnership was very good between Ishan and Shreyas Iyer, who again got some useful 33 runs. But then that became a little phase where India could have gone a little harder, but understanding the combination and the situation of the game, they kind of played it a little safe. But in the end, 190 was, like I said, 10-15 runs short. India needed to bowl well and feel well to defend that total. Defending 190 was not going to be easy. Obviously needed to bowl well, feel well, like I said, and did start extremely well. Arshdeep in his very first over picked up 2 wickets. Jos Buttler gone, and most importantly Phil Salt, because the 304 I was talking about earlier last season against South Africa, Phil Salt got 100. Jos Buttler also got quick runs. He got a 60, 70 something, a half century. So just to get those 2 wickets, India were in that game first over. The tricky bit happened after that, the second and the third over. In his second over, Arshdeep went for 26. So then suddenly, and Harry Brook came in and scored 30 odd in 15 balls, which kind of changed the momentum a little bit, shifted the momentum in favor of England. But then his wicket was very crucial, very well kept behind the stump, was down leg side, good catch by Ishan Kishan off Aksar. And then suddenly when the spinners came on, after those expensive second and third over from Harshit and Arshdeep, but then the spinners came in and he started off well. But the important thing is Ravi Bishnoi came in. He did okay, but in the very first over gave 1 no ball, right? And the no ball is for back leg, all right? Not the front leg crossing the line, it was the back leg cutting the line. So the return crease, as a bowler, you can't cut that, you can't put your foot on it, and he put his back foot, and it has happened in the past as well, because of his action, because he kind of goes wide of the crease and he runs in straight and he jumps in. At times when he's jumping in, he's a little late and he crosses or he touches that line. Well, so far so good. I think even the power play, India won the power play. England was 62 for 3 rather. So it was all looking all right. But then the partnership between Jacob Bethel and Tom Banton was the crucial one. They kept taking the total forward. They didn't lose momentum. And I thought it all boiled down to the three spinners. Those 12 overs was always going to be crucial because the pitch was on the dry side, and I thought once the ball got colder, I thought it would get more difficult, and it did. But unfortunately, in that middle phase where I thought the spinners would play a very important role and a crucial role, they didn't bowl as well. I thought Varun also lost his or wasn't consistent with his length. The issue with Varun Chakravarti is if he does not get his length right, it becomes a little bit of an issue because he's not a big turner of the ball. So his length and line becomes very crucial. Line was all right, but length, he bowled a little fuller than I think he should. So that got a little bit tricky with Varun. And those overs in the middle overs rather, the middle phase, I thought England won that phase, even though there are a couple of quick wickets which brought India back into the game. But then and it was a little hamstrung India, even in the last game. Going with three spinners, it becomes very, very important. And only two-seamer and Shivam Dube, that becomes a little bit of an issue if one of your fast bowlers go for a few runs, then you don't have a backup then as a fast bowler. Anyways, got Arshdeep back, got that wicket. I think India got back, in the middle phase a little bit with those 2-3 wickets. But then the crucial point was, in the end, you knew that it would have to be Shivam Dube to bowl because Arshdeep had bowled an over in the middle. Harshit had bowled over in the middle. In the end, I thought Jacob Bethel was very good. He planned his innings perfectly. That partnership with Tom Banton was very good. Took the game forward, did not lose their momentum. And then even after a couple of wickets, he was in there, Jacob Bethel, and he made it count. That one over which went for 26 of Ravi Bishnoi kind of turned the whole game. They needed 42 of 24 deliveries at that point in time, and then that over of Bishnoi kind of finished the game, and then India kind of lost the game by 4 wickets. Or rather England won the game by 4 wickets, and this is not a good sign for India because in last 4 games, Ireland lost both the games, one washed out and lost here in Manchester against England. The turning point. Well, the turning point for me was 3 no balls that Ravi Bishnoi bowled. And all of those no balls were punished. So forget the no balls, the free hit. Out of the 3, one was hit for a 4 and 2 were hit for 6s. So, if you think about it, those free hits, they costed India 16 runs plus the no balls. So, and it is, there are a few overs which went for plenty of runs. That is alright, that is acceptable in this format. You will go for runs. But bowling no balls by a spinner, that to back foot, it is quite criminal to be fair. And I thought the turning point, end of the day, and anyways, India were below par 10-15 runs, and on top of that, giving away those free runs was critical, and that was a very, very costly mistake. And turning point for me was those 3 no balls that were bowled. The final verdict for me, finally, if you think about it, yes, it is not a good start for Shreyas, the captain. He's still winless in 4 games so far, and that would put more pressure on this Indian side and the new Indian captain, no two ways about it. When I look at it, it is not about winning and losing. Obviously, you want to win as many games as possible. Every time you step on the field, you want to win. But the process is important. I think what India needs to think about is whether they want to continue with this combination of 3 spinners and 2 fast bowlers plus Shivam Dube. That is something that India needs to think about. Can India get in maybe another fast bowler? That might be at a cost of, maybe compromising with the batting a little bit, But if you replace Bishnoi with a fast bowler, I think that should be all right. Maybe play Prasidh Krishna. But the combination is important. One is that. Secondly, the reason the top order, the middle order can bat freely is having that confidence at your number 7 and 8, that even if you lose wickets early, number 7 and 8 can bat. And I personally believe Harshit can hit a long ball. but he at number 8 is a one position early. At number 9 he's perfect. At number 8, and then Aksar at number 7, because Aksar also does not have a very high strike rate. So at number 7 and 8, those two can be a little tricky, and that is my thought process as India, as a team, as the team management, what combination they would want to go in with. 3 spinners or not, would they want an extra batter or extra fast bowler? That's something I guess they need to think about. Thank you for watching Super Over Decoded, powered by IDFC FIRST Bank.